Hello, this is Kirsty Nolan.
Hello, I'm Ismail Iqbal, and we're live on Ocean News from London.
Together, we're bringing you the day's most crucial stories, ensuring you stay informed and ahead of the curve.
Let's dive straight into today's headlines.
Italy's government approved a $15.6 billion project to build the world's longest suspension bridge, connecting the island of Sicily to the mainland. A spokesman for Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini, who is responsible for transport and infrastructure, said a ministerial committee had given the green light to the state-funded bridge over the Strait of Messina after years of planning. The long-awaited plan aims to enhance connectivity, boost tourism, and create thousands of jobs.
Bosnia's election commission revoked the mandate of the separatist Bosnian Serb president after it rejected a court order jailing him for a year and banning him from political office for obstructing implementation of the 1995 peace deal. The commission's decision against Milorad Dodik will take effect after an appeals period expires. An early election for president of Bosnia's autonomous Serb Republic would then be called within 90 days, commission member Saud Arnautovic told reporters.
Heavy rain and blocked roads hampered rescue efforts in India's Himalayan state of Uttarakhand, a day after sudden flooding and landslides killed 4 people and left dozens missing. Teams of army and disaster force rescuers struggled to reach Dahali village, a popular tourist spot that serves as a pit stop before climbing to the Hindu pilgrimage town of Gangotori in Uttarakhand district, as landslides blocked a major highway and heavy rain continued to pelt the region.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faced pushback from the head of the military over his proposal to seize remaining areas of Gaza it doesn't already control during a tense 3-hour meeting. Eyal Zamir, the military chief of staff, warned the Prime Minister that taking the rest of Gaza could trap the military in the territory, which it withdrew from 2 decades ago, and could lead to harm to the hostages being held there. The Israeli military said it already controls 75% of Gaza after nearly 2 years of war, which began when militant group Hamas attacked southern Israeli communities in October 2023.
New South Korean President Lee Jae-myung will host Vietnam's top leader To Lam on a visit next week. 2 people familiar with the plan said, as they aim to boost cooperation on technology at a time of global trade tension that could affect their ties. Korean companies have historically been the biggest investors in the Southeast Asian nation, pouring in $92 billion by the end of last year. Vietnam government data shows, and mainly in factories. Lam is expected to arrive on Sunday for the 4-day event, the first state visit since Lee took office in June, said sources who sought anonymity, as the visit has not yet been announced.
Iran has executed a man accused of spying for Israel. Rouzbeh Vadi allegedly passed on information about a nuclear scientist killed in Israel's June attacks on the Islamic Republic. Executions of Iranians convicted of spying for Israel have significantly increased this year, with at least 8 death sentences carried out in recent months. The UK has officially lifted its safety ban on Pakistan International Airlines, marking a significant milestone in restoring international confidence in the country's aviation standards. The ban was initially imposed in 2020 by the European Union Aviation Safety Agency following a deadly PIA crash in Karachi and revelations that nearly 40% of the Pakistani pilots held dubious licenses. Since then, Pakistani authorities have implemented sweeping reforms in collaboration with UK aviation experts. To mark the occasion, UK High Commissioner to Pakistan, Jane Marriott, travelled on a PIA flight, calling it a milestone moment for both countries and a symbol of renewed trust in Pakistan's national carrier.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to visit China on August 31st to attend the summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The visit comes amid ongoing regional tensions and growing diplomatic activity across Asia. Modi's expected presence signals India's continued engagement in regional multilateral platforms despite ongoing strains in India-China relations. The summit is likely to cover security, economic cooperation and counter-terrorism, with observers watching closely for any high-level sideline meetings.
Swiss President Karin Keller-Sutter will meet US Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Wednesday, with Washington potentially seeking more energy and defense purchases to clinch a deal that would avert a crippling 39% tariff on Swiss imports. Switzerland was stunned by US President Donald Trump's decision last week to apply the steep rate, among the highest announced since he launched his global trade reset, which threatens to do major damage to its export-orientated economy.
Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that improving relations between Russia and the United States will take time. There is, of course, inertia in this process, referring to the prolonged absence of a meeting between Russia's President Vladimir Putin and US President Donald Trump. Dmitry Peskov said it takes time for efforts to bring bilateral relations back onto a normal track. Ireland's foreign ministry called on Haitian authorities to ensure everything is done to secure the release of a group of people, including an Irish missionary and a 3-year-old child, taken by gunmen who stormed a local orphanage. Irish Foreign Minister Simon Harris spoke with his Haitian counterpart overnight, the government said in a statement, during which they agreed to stay in touch on their work to ensure the group is released, including missionary Gina Harati. Harris said it is imperative that she is released immediately. The attacks took place over the weekend when gunmen stormed the orphanage in Kenskoff, a mountainous community on the outskirts of the capital, Port-au-Prince, that has been under a deadly attack by armed gangs since the start of the year. South Korea will offer visa-free entry to tourist groups from China for a temporary period from September 29th through to June 2026 to boost foreign tourism ahead of an Asia-Pacific summit, the government said. The visa-free offer was first announced in March after China's decision last November to offer a visa exemption to South Koreans and foreign visitors from other countries. It also comes amid expectations that ties between the two countries will improve under the new South Korean administration of Liberal President Lee Jae-myung. US President Donald Trump's administration will require visa applicants from Zambia and Malawi to pay bonds up to $15,000 for some tourist and business visas under a pilot program launching in 2 weeks. According to State Department, starting August 20th, 2025, any citizen or national traveling on a passport issued by one of these countries who is found otherwise eligible for a B1, B2 visa must post a bond in amounts of $5,000, $10,000 or $15,000 determined at the time of the visa interview. Those were the headlines for today.
Don't go anywhere. After a quick break, we'll be right back to delve into each story with comprehensive coverage. Stay tuned.